Authority. Together, they will share the stories, the vision, and the journey from the festival's humble beginnings to becoming a world-class celebration of Creole music and culture. Also, festival updates and the importance of the World Creole Music Festival as the #1 Creole festival in the world. This epic and educational edition will be streamed live on DBS Radio, DBS Radio Facebook page, and DBS Radio YouTube channel. This Wednesday, September 17th, 2025, 11 a.m. on DBS Radio. Special guest, Marvel Williams, the CEO of Discover Dominica Authority, on Creole Habits, elevating culture, amplifying Creole.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines, civics education is returning to primary schools in Dominica. In news from the region, the United States has destroyed another alleged Venezuelan drug boat, killing 3 people. And on the international scene, Palestinians flee Gaza City as Israel's Netanyahu confirms a powerful operation is underway. Well, good morning, I'm Garvin Richards with the DVS Major Morning News. The details right after this.
Yummy. Yummy. Looking for something sweet, chewy, delicious, or even crunchy? We've got you covered. Mars and Wrigley's products are the perfect pick for all your sweet tooth cravings. Available in M&M's, Twix, Milky Way, Snickers, Skittles, and even gummies. So next time your cravings are at an all-time high, choose Mars and Wrigley's.
Available at Fine Foods Inc. distribution or your favorite supermarket island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. First up in the news this morning, civics education is returning to primary schools in Dominica. Well, Chief Education Officer Dr. Jeffrey Blaise says civics education will be reintroduced as part of education reform in Dominica. He says the education reform process is to begin in September.
And we had a whole set of softer skills to be considered, ranging from ICT, physical education, agriculture, modern foreign languages, and even local language to a certain extent. Local language meaning Kokoi, Creole, and Kalnago language, because we want to give our students that sort of exposure. Also, the development of school clubs, because we felt that that was an important element for student socialization. Bearing in mind, many parents indicated the challenges at schools with bullying and the like. as well as visual performing arts. We know the gains to be made from visual performing arts in the job market. We felt that it would be important to orient our students towards that. Civics education is an important element for us, and for that matter, we have developed the module for civics. Just in the last few weeks, we work on the scope and sequence for our civics module, and we are going to be sensitizing our teachers on delivering the civics curriculum because we expect our schools to fully implement the civics curriculum from September this year. Also, community service is an important area for us as well, because we feel that is one of the areas that's dying out within our communities. Persons don't understand the importance of volunteerism, and we want our students to be sensitized on that area so that they grow into adults that are willing to assist with the development of their country.
And that's the Chief Education Officer, Dr. Jeffrey Blaise. Well, civics is a study of the rights, responsibilities, and obligations of citizens within a society, focusing on how government operates and how individuals participate in it. In some more news this morning, well, Dominica and 3 other member states of CARICOM are on course to implement full free movement of their nationals effective the 1st of October this year. A national focal point for the CARICOM Single Market and Economy in Dominica is Mathan Walter.
In keeping with the CARICOM heads' decision taken at the 49th regular meeting of the Conference of CARICOM Heads earlier this year, 4 CARICOM member states, namely Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, are currently on track to implement full free movement among themselves from October 1st, 2025. It's important to note that by implementing the full free movement regime, these 4 countries have agreed to grant their nationals the right to enter, leave, and re-enter, move freely, reside, work, and remain indefinitely in the receiving member states without the need for a work or residency permit. Those nationals, the nationals of Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, will also be able to access emergency and primary health care and public primary and secondary education within the means of that receiving member state.
And that's a national focal point for the CARICOM Single Market and Economy in Dominica, Mathan Walter. Mr. Walter says the new initiative is a major step towards full free movement of Caribbean nationals.
Prior to that, the movement of skilled nationals was governed by an approved and recognized list of 13 categories. And those categories were namely university graduates, media workers, sports persons, artists, musicians, nurses, teachers, holders of associate degrees, domestic workers, agricultural workers, artisans with CVQs, private security officers, and aviation personnel. And so those persons could move without the need for a work permit. But these are set group of persons. Dominica has and remains one of the very few member states that have formally approved and recognized all 13 categories of those skilled nationals. And those categories will apply to all the other member states outside of Belize, Barbados, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, those other member states which are participating in the single market and economy will continue to operate free movement under those existing regimes, the skills, services, business establishment, and the general facilitation of travel. So among those 4 member states, there is going to be an exclusive allowance to move freely, to work and reside among themselves.
A national focal point for the CARICOM Single Market and Economy in Dominica, Mathan Walter. Education Officer Kimani Jordel says the Ministry of Education endorses the annual DBS Felix Anderson National Reading Competition. Well, his comments came during the prize-giving ceremony of the 2025 competition at the Conference Center of the Dominica China Friendship Hospital yesterday.
That's a wonderful initiative. And we know around this time, many of our students will start to read. They hear students read, they're motivated. It's like you look at football or cricket or basketball. When students see these things, They want to do it. They want to play. When the reading competition is going on, we have an increased interest in reading. So DBS Radio, please continue. Please continue to partner with us so that our students will be encouraged and motivated to read even more.
And that's Education Officer Kimani Juradel. Meantime, manager of DBS Radio, Cecil Joseph, has called for the reintroduction of a reading initiative among the OECS and by extension, the Caribbean.
We know that some time ago in the past that we had it in the OECS, the reading competition to the OECS. It's my hope that sometime, very near future, that the Ministry of Education can help in identifying other OECS ministries of education to see how best that we can start the process all over again to ensure we're not going into a competition. We're not into competing to see who has the best readers, but to really evaluate the progress of our children. Too many times we hear people criticize and not understanding the hurdles. But if we can make some kind of comparison between what I have and what you have, and how we can take from each other to develop, to see that we have a better Caribbean, a better OECS. I think Ministry of Education, I'll be at your doorstep knocking every time. I'll be at your doorstep knocking every time. So I want to say from the Minister of Education to the Permanent Secretary of Education, to the senior officers of the Ministry of Education, to the floor employees of the Ministry of Education, DBS Radio will be at your door or at your doors just to ensure that we see another part of the reading competition in the OECS and maybe by extension in the Caribbean.
And that's manager of DBS Radio, Cecil Joseph. The 2025 winner of the National Reading Competition, Kiara John of the Siniku Primary School, along with the other finalists, were recognized for their outstanding performances in this year's competition. Meantime, James Rodney, the marketing executive at DBS Radio, praised the achievements of all 10 finalists.
This competition has been about more than just reading to an audience perfectly. It's a testament to the hard work, passion, keen interest, dedication, confidence, and a sense of bravery that our young readers have poured into their journey through stories, news, and sports articles, and to a further extent, the knowledge and ideas that has brought them to this point. To all our participants, your efforts have made this competition a resounding success. You have shown us that the future is in excellent hands, hands that are turning pages, absorbing wisdom, and imagining new worlds with a youthful exuberance. Whether you are taking home a prize today or not, your passion for reading is your greatest reward. The courage it took to stand on a stage and share your voice is an achievement in itself, and you should all be incredibly proud.
Marketing executive at DBS Radio, James Rodney. Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford says the Kalinago Week observance should place greater emphasis on the historical events of the 1930 uprising against colonial oppression. Kalinago Week is being held under the theme honoring the sacrifices of our Kalinago ancestors.
We opened the week with the recognition of our elders who have been engaged in cultural activities and traditions within the community for a while. This was Lysander Lucian. On Wednesday, there will be an educational symposium where the students will be taught the general events that occurred on the 19th of September 1930. And one of the speakers there will be Lennox Honeychurch to share with them the history of that moment. And of course, we'll be having other speakers, but more so it's a learning opportunity for the young people to learn a little bit about their history. On that same day, we'll be having naming ceremony for some of our youth, and we are focusing on the schools this year, particularly because we want our young people to start learning the Kalinago language. And one of the ways that we can start learning the Kalinago language is if we have a name. On Friday, we'll be having the smoke ceremony, which, of course, is the Memorial Day. And we're hoping to have some delegates from Guadeloupe who are coming down here to participate in the second breakfast, and of course all the officials who will be present around the territory during that time.
And that's the Kalinago chief, Annette Sanford. Well, let's head into news from the region this morning. President Donald Trump says the U.S. military has destroyed an alleged Venezuelan drug vessel traveling in international waters on the way to the United States. Well, Donald Trump said on Monday that 3 men were killed in the attack on violent drug trafficking cartels. He provided no evidence that the boat was carrying drugs. Shortly before his Venezuelan counterpart, Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, said that Venezuela would defend itself against the United States aggression, calling America's top diplomat Marco Rubio the Lord of Death and War. Well, tensions between the two countries escalated after the United States deployed warships to the southern Caribbean on what officials said were counter-narcotics operations, carrying out a strike which killed 11 people. On the international scene, Israel has heavily struck Gaza City overnight as the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirms a powerful operation is underway and has been launched in the Strip. It comes amid unconfirmed reports which say that Israel has now launched its ground offensive to occupy the entire city. Netanyahu says Gaza City is Hamas's last major stronghold and has vowed to take control of it, and the plan to do so has brought international criticism. Meanwhile, a United Nations Commission of Inquiry has said that Israel is committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. Israel's foreign ministry categorically denied the report and also denounced it as distorted and false. Well, that's the news. Let's recap the headlines. Civics education is returning to primary schools in Dominica. The United States has destroyed another Venezuelan drug boat, killing 3 people. And Palestinians flee Gaza City as Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu confirms a powerful operation is underway. Coming up in sports, well, Thea Lafau-Gadson has just qualified for the finals of the women's triple jump at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. We'll bring you that story and more in sports. Stay tuned.
Are you tired of having the same boring breakfast every morning? Well, Monflake Oats is the healthy and perfect solution just for you. Make your breakfast exciting by adding Monflakes to your pancakes, parfait, or even milkshake. Monflake can be found in different sizes and available in granola, such as Caribbean or Hawaiian. Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Monflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets, PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Here's a quick tip from NBD.
A quick tip from the National Bank of Dominica Limited. Scammers may send fake emails or texts. Remember, NBD will never ask you to reset your more banking password or share your card PIN, CVV, or other sensitive information this way. Stay alert. Stay secure. When in doubt, contact NBD, your partner, your bank.
Well, welcome to the DBS Morning Sports Report, and we're heading straight over to Tokyo, Japan, as we're going to be joining the president of the Dominica Athletics Association, Brendan Williams, who is on the line with us this morning. And of course, the big news this morning, Thea Laffour-Gadson has just qualified for the finals of the women's triple jump at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. Brendan, good morning. What can you tell us about this latest development?
Good morning, Gavin, and the men listener of DBS Radio. I must say that it is a very impressive feat of Thea to qualify on a first jump for the finals, which will be held on Thursday. Thea is competing against a very stacked group, which includes the two Cubans, Perez and Povea, and also we have Shanika Ricketts, and then we see the reemergence of Rojas from Venezuela. But she proved that she's in top form by just qualifying with her first jump.
All right, and her first jump, 14.404 meters. Brendan, let's put this into context because, you know, the average Dominican, probably not too familiar with how the triple jump process works, would look at it and say, well, 14.40 is not anywhere close to her national record. So how would you put that jump into context based on what she had to do just for today?
All she had to do was just qualify for the games, for the finals, sorry. And Thea had to meet a qualifying mark of 14.35, and she did 14.40, conserving her energy for the finals, which will be contested on Thursday evening in Tokyo, which is Thursday morning in Dominica.
All right, Thursday morning, Thea will be in the finals. You mentioned a while ago, too, that Rojas is back in competition, and it's been over a year since we've seen her. She suffered that horrific injury. How did Rojas do, or how has she done so far?
Honestly, I didn't even check her distances. I was more concerned with Thea and qualifying for the finals. But after the end of the qualification period, which is still going on, I will see the final list of persons who are going to the finals.
Okay, no problem. Fair enough. Brendan, of course, you're in Tokyo, Japan, and you're there for some major meetings as well as it relates to Dominica and the possibility of a track for Dominica being funded by World Athletics. Is there anything to report on that matter yet?
Well, Gavin, you know, at this time I will not report on anything until I go through the proper channels because there are different partners that we have working on that project. So when they're informed, then we can inform the nation. But I can say that we are very positive signs.
Okay, very positive signs. And Brendan, before you go, let's talk about the other athletes at the World Games. We had Denick Luke yesterday running in the 400-meter men's hurdles. Didn't qualify for the semifinals, but was very close. Your thoughts on Denick Luke and how he went about his business yesterday?
No, I'm very proud of Denick and his amazing season that he's having this year. For switching from the 800 meters last year and making it to the World Championships this year, the 400 hurdles, is an impressive feat. And both his coach and himself said that it's a learning curve, and we expect him next year to start to move to his own to dominate the sport. Recently, based on the switch and his performances for the year, he signed a professional contract with an agency to manage him. So that is very positive signs that persons out there are looking at him to make a mark on the global scene. He came in as a universal place athlete, and he's leaving Tokyo 28 out of 40 in the event.
Yes, positive signs for Danny Clook, and Trennis Hamilton will be in action a little later this week.
Yes, Trennis came in yesterday, and she'll be contesting the women's shot put. She has settled in nice, and she went training this afternoon, and she's preparing for an event on Thursday, where she'll be going for the qualifiers in the shot put.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Brendan Williams, for joining us live this morning, and we look forward to more updates from you and the rest of the Dominican team. Thank you very much.
No problem, Gavin, and I just hope that the rest of Dominican Republic is supporting our athletes whilst they're in Tokyo.
Surely they are. Okay. Thank you very much, Brendan. And that was the president of the Dominica Athletics Association, Brendan Williams. And the big news this morning, Thea Laffogatson has qualified for the finals of the women's triple jump at the World Athletics. She jumped 14.40 meters on her very first and only attempt. And she's into the finals, which will be set for Thursday. Also qualifying so far, we have Leyanis Perez Hernandez, who's jumped 14.66 meters. And the Rojas, who's making a return following a year's absence. That's Rojas from Venezuela, the former world champion. She jumped 14.49 meters, so she too has qualified for the finals as well. Well, let's bring you some more sports this morning. The Trinbago Knight Riders captain Nicholas Puran says the Knight Riders will be at their best as they head into the playoffs of the Republic Bank CPL. The Knight Riders will battle the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons in the first eliminator tonight. The Knight Riders ended the regular season in third place on 12 points, but Puran says that the guys know what is at stake heading into the playoffs.
If you have to be successful, you have to beat everyone. Playoffs is a different type of cricket, different type of pressure, and we're accustomed to that. So we're looking forward to the next couple days. But from a group perspective, we know we have a work cut out to do. Coming here to Guyana hasn't been easy for us over the last couple of years, and even though the surface over here as well, it's a bit tricky both first and second innings. So that's something we need to discuss and plan how we actually want to go about our innings on both sides. But Falcon has definitely been a team that has challenged us in the past, and we're looking forward to obviously that game. As I said, playoff games are completely different. Imad just mentioned that you hear the conditions. Obviously, they like this condition. It's more in favor of them as well. So again, for me, it's on a day. It's based on a day. We're not going to allow the toss to have impact on the game, both teams. But we're looking forward to the game. I mean, as I said before, it's playoff games. It's different. That's when personnels and individuals need to step up and make it count.
And that's the Trinbago Knight Riders captain Nicholas Puran. Well, the eliminator will get underway from 8 o'clock tonight. Meantime, Antigua's captain Imad Wazim is hoping that his team can continue with their journey to make it to the finals. This is the first time that the Antiguan team has qualified for the playoffs, and they finished in 4th place on 11 points.
Our journey has been fantastic. I think the first box has been ticked, getting into the playoff. 3 wins away from the finals. These conditions, they suit us. And the thing is, all the teams are fantastic. So on a given day, whoever can beat whoever. But the thing is, we just want to showcase good talent, enjoy the game, and entertain the fans. That's about it. But ultimately, play in the right spirit, and whoever wins the tournament, good luck to them. I hope tomorrow they stand up. Although, in playoffs, whoever copes the pressure well wins the game most likely. TKR has got 9 players who has done that before many times. That's the advantage they have. But I think young guys need to step up. These are the games they might not be able to play maybe in the next 5 years. So just gonna enjoy it and just do what they keep on doing.
And that's Antigua's captain Imad Wazim. Let's stay with cricket news because the West Indies under-19 team, they crashed to a heavy defeat in the 7th and final youth ODI against the Sri Lankan under team as that series came to an end yesterday in Antigua. Sri Lanka, they made 180 for 5 in 26 overs. Israel Morton, he picked up 3 for 30. And the West Indies, well, they were bowled out for just 62. Joshua Dawn got 16. Sri Lanka won by 130 runs via the Duckworth-Lewis method. The West Indies, however, won the 7-match series 4-3, with the captain, Joshua Dawn, being named the man of the series. We can also tell you that there's football on this afternoon as Dominica will continue their campaign in the Windward Islands Women's Football Competition. Remember, Dominica went down 2-0 in their opening match against St. Vincent. Well, the national ladies team, they will take on St. Lucia this afternoon. That game is set for 5 o'clock in St. Vincent. The other game today will see St. Vincent taking on Barbados. In some volleyball news, well, the head coach of the national men's volleyball team, Itoma James, likes Dominica's chances ahead of the ECVA 2025 Men's Final Four tournament, which gets underway in Antigua this week. The tournament, which also features Grenada, St. Lucia and Antigua, will run from September 19th. DBS Sports caught up with the national team during their training session last night.
Well, I'm very confident in what the team can do. I think the guys have been preparing well. Again, we have just come off of a national league, so they're fresh out of competition, so it's just trying to get the team to gel and see what we can do as a team. We have pretty much the same team from last year, 1 or 2 changes, so I expect big things from the guys. They're more experienced this year. They should be able to put up a better fight. We got to the finals last year and we expect to win this year.
All right, let's talk about the newcomers that are in the squad. Nesta James, Kyron Phillip, what do they bring to this competition?
Well, from what we see from the National League, Nesta had been one of the more dominant players in the league, so we expect to get big things from him. You know, it's a step up from last year. Kyron has always been on the periphery, showing us that he's a very good player, very talented player. So we don't expect anything less from him. We're not expecting the level to drop because of them. We expect it to actually raise.
And Ronell is coming back into the fold after a while out, and that must be a big boost for you to have him, especially if his height.
Yeah, well, with Ronell, I mean, like you say, that obvious height advantage, but what he also brings to the team is that calm, that, you know, that togetherness. He is one of the more experienced people we have in volleyball now, and he has shown that he has the ability to bring the team together. So that is something, the ability intangibles that he does bring to the team in addition to his height and what he can do on the court.
All right, let's talk about the tournament now and coming up against the 3 best teams in the ECVA. What do you think would be the biggest challenge for Dominica?
Really, it's just the fight. Because, you know, sometimes a little complacency can come in. You know that you did well last year, so you kind of see your competition like, okay, you know you can win them, so you kind of probably drop your standard a little bit to match theirs, and that is something we cannot afford to do at this level of competition. So I am really hoping that the guys understand that we have to fight from ball one and just make sure that the people that we can beat, we beat them.
All right, let's talk about this team and the most exciting part about this group of young guys that you have. What really stands out about them?
Really just the athleticism, the dynamism. Really, we have some really exciting athletes, and we expect the volleyball to be exciting no matter who we play against because of just what they bring to the field.
And that was coach of the national men's volleyball team, Itoma James. The men's national volleyball team is being captained by Jan Flora. The rest of the team is Ronell Joseph, Movin Mingo, Nesta James, Jaden Robinson, Sidney John, Ethan Bolan, Larian Tulloch, Kyron Phillip, and Sharon Vidal, where we'll bring you a lot more on Dominica's preparations for that major volleyball tournament in Antigua. Well, that's where we'll come to the end of the DBS Morning Sports Report. Of course, we'll have some more sporting highlights for you at 11 o'clock and at 1:28 during the 13:50 news. Until then, I'm Gavin Richards saying good morning.
A quick tip from the National Bank of Dominica Limited. Scammers may send fake emails or texts. Remember, NBD will never ask you to reset your more banking password or share your card PIN, CVV, or other sensitive information this way. Stay alert. Stay secure. When in doubt, contact NBD, your partner, your bank.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas